don't have anywhere to go, then don't go. Just leave the radio on or leave your streaming, whatever your computer, laptop, radio, speaker, I don't know what you're using. Leave it on, clean the house, hang out with us, stay with KPFT for the rest of the night, or at least till 1 a.m. Thank you guys, as always. I love you, and I will see you next Friday or at 11 o'clock tonight.
Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Firm. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. For more information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, you can find it at the website, parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well, I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you get released. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
Dreams, I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. The men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This ain't my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and
Welcome. Tonight is April the 11th. It's Friday. And we were watching Gloria try to manipulate her chair a little bit. She gave up, scooted it across the room, got another one. So here we are.
A higher one.
Because she was like hovering on the floor
My
there.
chin was on the table.
Does she have a mic?
No.
You want this one? She got a mic?
Yeah, go ahead. Y'all switch for a second. So, y'all, it's been a hard week. I'm not gonna lie. Linda's had a hard week, which I'm sure she's going to mention tonight. You're not whispering, Gloria. We have a full house tonight. That's what we have. We have a full house. And I don't know if y'all remember way back when, way back when, Javier helped us. And now he's back. He's back this evening. Why? Why, you ask? Because David has once again injured himself. It's like an ongoing thing. When will you see? I need to go ahead and mute my phone. I'm always telling everybody to mute their phone.
I just want to add a correction for the record. David was injured by a business establishment. Wasn't that right, David? We didn't injure ourselves, you know. Okay, I'll see y'all later.
That was Terry Peden, the attorney.
Yeah, Dani's trying to throw me under the bus, y'all.
I take back everything I said, with the exception of Javier.
Yeah, I thought I just twisted my ankle, and I mean, I got up and shook it off and went about my business, but it just kept hurting and kept hurting and kept hurting, and I guess it was more than twisted, so.
Clearly more than twisted.
So now I'm in the boot and got it up on the little scooter thing, and definitely not my Harley. So.
No.
Self-propelled.
So we often wonder, what will David look like this week?
Yep. Hey, I don't have any road rash.
Well, no, you don't. However, you may have to have some pins.
Yeah, I think surgery's in my future.
I think so. Yeah, most definitely. So anyway, tonight, David lined up a great show. He has Mary Sue Molnar, the executive director of Texas Voices for Reason and Justice. She's going to be on tonight. Gloria is in the house. Terry Peden is also in the house. And Abe Bonowitz, he's going to be calling in. And as y'all know, he is the co-director, founder at Death Penalty Action. So we have a jam-packed show. But first, we have Mary Sue on line 1. Hey, Mary Sue.
Hi, how's it going?
Okay, how are you?
I am good.
Do you have any good news for us tonight?
Well, we've already been up there. We testified against our first bill.
And how did that go?
It went great. It went great.
Oh, that's good. We needed some good news this week. So the reception was great? The information you were given?
Yeah, because there was actually a representative from the Sheriff's Association that testified.
Oh.
And he said there was no way that they could enforce this bill.
Now, what was the bill about?
The bill was House Bill 1913 by Schleswig. It's the bill where the person on the registry cannot live within 2,500 feet of their victim.
2,500 feet.
So our problem is most people on the registry don't know where their victim is. And so how is somebody going to know if they're within 2,500 feet unless you have a victim's registry? And I don't think victims would appreciate that. And that was the same thing that the sheriff said, is you need to have some kind of a registry that would keep track of them, the victims, and maybe even have to keep track of them, when they move or change their names or, otherwise there's no way that you could arrest somebody for doing something that they didn't know they were doing. So it's going to be pretty interesting because there's so many things we found wrong with the bill. In order to get that bill passed, he would need to fix all of these issues. And there's 2 issues that there's no way that he can fix.
And what are those 2 issues? The victim's registry?
Well, the first one is there's no way that local law enforcement knows where the victims live, and there's no way that the person on the registry could, we don't want people on the registry having to Google the names of the name of their victim just to find out where they can or cannot go. That's not a good idea, right? And then the second one is there is no opt-in or opt-out for victims who do not choose to be included. Because there are a lot of victims where this type of offense occurred within the family, and they've gone through some kind of restorative justice type of counseling. And they have reconnected and, with the person who offended against them. So they don't want to be included in this bill. So where's the opt-out? There needs to be an opt-out, and that's going to be a problem for him.
Okay, have you testified at any other hearings?
Not yet, but we are monitoring a bunch of them. And we are waiting for them to come up. And we're ready to go. We're just waiting for them to be heard by committee. Another bill, the legislator filed a bill that if a registered person lived in a home, that home would lose their homestead exemption. That one is dead already.
Good.
That one is dead.
Excellent.
Yeah, we so many of our family members called in and told their stories, and just, that he told me personally, and he's told other people to their face, that bill is dead. I should have never filed it.
Oh, so he realizes it.
Yes, he does. Which, I got to give him credit for that. He's a first-year legislator. He was attempting to fix a problem that he thought he could fix, and he didn't realize what he was doing with this bill. So, and this was the bill that just freaked out our members.
What problem was he trying to fix by trying to file that?
He didn't go into detail. He basically, I'm not being recorded right now, am I?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a recording now?
Oh, no, you're live, but you're also being recorded. We have both ways.
Gotcha. Okay. So he basically, he didn't really say what kind of bill it was, why he filed it. He said something about a veteran's home that was having a problem with registered people living there. And so he didn't really say what it was. But, I got to give him credit. He did say that he realized that it was not a good bill and that he should never have filed it and that it was not going anywhere, that it was dead.
Well, kudos to him for realizing that.
That's great. But had we not had so many members call in and, tell their stories and how this would harm their entire family and how it was hard to make ends meet already, I don't know if he would have realized what that bill would do to people and to their families. So, it's been tough. I mean, there's so many bills this session, and we're focusing on the ones that we think would harm the most people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, where we're at right now. But one's dead. The other one's not looking too good that we testified against.
And
then we've
got
a few more to go. The one that we just testified against?
Yeah. That was the 1913?
Yeah, that was the 1913, related to prohibiting a registered sex offender from going within 2,500 feet of the residence of a victim of any offense committed by the offender for which the offender is subject to registration. It proposes a 2,500 foot of where the victim lives. But again, the problem is most people on the registry don't know where their victim lives. Now, I know that there's something within PDCJ. They have victim services. Mm-hmm. A victim can request that if the guy comes out on parole, that he not live in her city or in her area, and PDCJ can do that. But once the person has completed their sentence and they're no longer on parole, PDCJ has no authority over the registry.
Nope.
So you can't arrest somebody for moving somewhere where he doesn't know where the victim lives. So you basically have to inform him, this is where the victim lives, and you can't move within 2,500 feet. Well, you can't inform them if you don't have a list of victims. So you basically have to create a registry for victims. And that wouldn't work.
No.
So, we just pointed out so many. We also pointed out that the bill needs to change from a proximity bill, where it says you cannot go within 2,500 feet, to a residency bill only. The footage needs to be reduced from 2,500 feet to a much more reasonable footage. He would need to exempt juvenile offenders. He would need to have an opt-out or opt-in option for victims who choose not to be included. And the biggest part of this is, believe it or not, there is already a protective order, a lifetime protective order that does the exact same thing that this bill does.
A lifetime protective order?
Right. So if there's a victim out there and the person who abused him or her moves in next door to her or him, there's a lifetime protective order that they can file. So the process already exists. We don't need a bill.
Yeah, and it's almost like they're trying to exempt people from living, anyone coming out of prison, living in, well, I know they're doing it to sex offenders in certain cities like Pasadena, Texas. But it's almost like they're trying to do it across the board.
Yeah, 2,500 feet from where the victim lives when you don't know where the victim lives.
Okay,
So,
Mary Sue, I'm sorry, we're going to have to wrap it up. Can you give us your address so someone can write to you?
Sure. It's Texas Voices, P.O. Box 23539, San Antonio, Texas, 78223.
All right. We appreciate you being on, and hopefully you'll have some more good news later on.
I hope so. We're looking for all the good news we can get.
We sure are. All right.
Y'all are too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. There we go. All right. Now we have Gloria, and I think everyone knows who Gloria is.
Yeah, just ask the FBI, TVC.
OIG.
Yep. Good afternoon, or evening,
Gloria,
everybody.
why don't you give your title anyway, because we are in 45 states now.
That's right. I'm Gloria Rubac. I am one of the organizers of the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement, which has met on the first Tuesday of every month for about the last 30 or 35 years at the Shape Community Center. And we have we don't have a web page, but we have a very active Facebook page. But you got to put "the" in front of our name, just like The Prison Show. We are the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement. Okay, first thing I want to report on is Lobby Day. The Death Penalty Lobby Day was this past Tuesday. And it turned out really good, even though I kind of screwed it up because we set the date too late. And people were going crazy. There was 1 million committee hearings going on and so on. But we had people from Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. And we visited, I believe, every single member of the House Criminal Jurisprudence Committee and the Texas Senate Criminal Justice Committee. And I'm going to quickly say, we prioritized 5 issues. One, of course, was abolition, which we know isn't going anywhere, but it's getting more and more support. And there was bills for abolition by Representative Harold Dutton, by Representative B.U.S.Y. Busy, and Christine Morales, House Bill 454. Dutton's is House Bill 2237, and House Bill 61 by Joe Moody, and a Senate Bill 343 by Sarah Eckhart. We lobbied around the issue of limiting solitary confinement, or ADSEG, by Representative Terry Mesa, and that's House Bill 1409. And bless her heart, she put in there solitary shouldn't be more than 3 days, unless there was violence involved in your infraction, and then 10 days. And as we know, people on death row have been in solitary for 25 friggin' years. So solitary is torture, period. We lobbied for Joe Moody's House Bill 2055 that wouldn't allow the death penalty for anybody under the age of 21. So, I mean, we don't think anybody should be executed, but that's a step in the right direction. Then we lobbied on the law of parties bills. Dutton's bill is House Bill 2649. And then Jeff Leach also had a House Bill 5058. But Leach's bill actually went a step further, and bless his heart, Leach has more faith in the Board of Pardons than I do, but he said the Board of Pardons should investigate everybody on death row now, not in the future, but now, who's there because of the law of parties, and then recommend that to the governor to grant them clemency. Good idea. And
in concept, yes.
Yes, but it would be nice if there was an independent body to investigate this, and it would be required that everybody under the law of parties got clemency. But anyway, good step, Representative Leach. And then the last thing is Moody's bill, and he's actually very optimistic about this. It's House Bill 444, and this would allow scientific evidence that was not available at trial to be used in habeas appeals. And you know, the case of Robert Robertson which has gotten worldwide attention. Hello, Robert. Because they used the now debunked thing of shaken baby syndrome. And there is something that says that new evidence should be allowed, but they don't do it. So Moody's bill addresses this. And, you know, I think of Todd Willingham, who was executed in 2004, even though the arson science that convicted him was totally messed up. And his last statement was, "I'm an innocent man convicted of a crime I did not commit. I have been persecuted for 12 years for something I didn't do." In Todd Willingham's case, just like Robert Robertson's case, there was no crime. So anyway, those are the 5 things. There's actually a lot of good bills dealing with that would affect people on death row, but we couldn't focus on all of them, so we picked those 5. And we had printed out information that we gave people. We had some real good conversations, although it's always discouraging. And the reps and senators were on the floor most of the time. But it's discouraging when people don't even know what the law of parties is. So I was like thrilled. I've got 3 seconds, minutes.
Seconds.
Oh.
No, minutes.
Oh. Thank you, Javier. I was thrilled that one guy's chief of staff actually knew what the law of parties was. We have 2 executions coming up. Moises Mendoza from Collin County is April 23rd, and May 20th, Matthew Johnson from Dallas is scheduled. And we will be in Huntsville protesting, as we always are, unless a court, or bless his little black heart, the governor, stops it, which doesn't happen. That's okay. Special place in hell for people like that. On political prisoner Mumia Abu-Jamal, who joined the Black Panther Party when he was 16, and then after the FBI and COINTEL destroyed it, he became a radio broadcaster, really focusing on police brutality. And I think at that time the Philly police were worse than the Houston police, which is hard to believe. Anyway, in 1981 he was sent to death row. After, I believe, 30 years, he was commuted, but he's still in prison. So his birthday is April 24th. on April 27th, which is a Sunday, we are going to be celebrating his birthday and condemning his continued imprisonment, and we will be at the historic Emancipation Park in 3rd Ward with signs and a sound system. Bunchy with the Black Panther Party will be speaking. Minister Abdul Halim Mohammed with the Nation of Islam will be speaking. We've got poetry from Nikki Llewellyn. And Sister Mama Sonia is going to do music or song. And just one more thing. Federal executions are fixing to start happening. So I'm sorry I threw away my signs condemning Trump and killing people on a federal level. But that's it. Am I out of time?
Yeah, give them your address where they can write you.
P.O. Box 3454, Houston, Texas 77253. And we meet on the first Tuesday of every month at Shape Center, and everybody is welcome to join us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Gloria, very much.
Okay. And we were polite but firm with the legislators.
You have to be polite because you have to get them on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had great discussions.
Okay, y'all, switch.
Okay.
Switcheroo. And now we're going to have attorney Terry Peden is up, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of stuff to say. He is the owner of law firm. He's the owner of a law firm, Abolitionist, Educator, all wrapped up into Terry Peden.
All wrapped up into one.
Yep.
First and foremost, thank you to the Prison Show for the opportunity to speak. Thank you for all the listeners for your attention. So this week, how much time I got?
You have 2 minutes left.
2 minutes?
Yeah, no, you have 15.
15 minutes? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I want to share a couple things with you all. I know that we're broadcast across a bunch of states now, which is a good thing. I practice parole law here in the state of Texas, amongst other things. So I kind of want to speak directly to parole eligibility. This is a call and a question I get pretty often, at least once or twice a week, in terms of parole eligibility in the state. So each state has its own metric for defining when an inmate becomes parole eligible based on their offense, based upon the amount of time that they've been convicted and sentenced to. But in Texas, you're going to get amount of time, and then depending on whether or not your offense is 3G or basically being an aggravated offense, or if it's a non 3G offense, that's going to kind of dictate the calculation. So all 3G offenses, you have to serve 50% of your overall time before you become parole eligible. Another common question is, well, do they get credit for the time they spend in the county jail? You should. Only way you probably wouldn't is if, say, you were on probation and, you know, before you got sentenced and sent to TDC, there was a probation violation, maybe something like that. But for the most part, you should get credit. So again, if you got a 3G offense, aggravated violent crime, they're going to make you do 50% before you become parole eligible, regardless of how much time you got. But for all of those who do not have 3G offenses, non-aggravated offenses, there's a tricky math computation. But if you go online and you Google parole eligibility chart in Texas, you can find a bunch of lawyers that have this chart available online. You can see what I'm saying for yourself. So I'm not going to go through every single year, but we're just going to start at 1 year. So if you're sentenced to 1 year, well, that's not even good. Let's go 2 years for a state jail felony. So if you got hit with a little two-piece, first of all,
a two-piece.
First of all, don't cry, okay, because you're finna come home. You know, but if you got hit with a two-piece, you technically become parole eligible after serving 2 months and 25 days. So one of the common questions I get is like, hey, my loved one got sentenced to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and technically they've become parole eligible, but they haven't even left the county jail yet. They haven't made it to the state prison system, and they become parole eligible, and then they're calling me, trying to get parole representation. And the overall point, I'll go ahead and spill the beans now, but hey, if your loved one has become parole eligible and they're still in the county, I would not advise you to hire a parole attorney at that point, because they're probably not going to be granted parole. Right, this is an entire system. They are going to want to make some money, like not to go down the rabbit hole. And some of the people are like, oh, it's just statistical information, and however much time you serve it dictate when you're going to make parole, and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, but it's not like if you haven't served 37.5% of your sentence, they're not going to let you make parole because it goes against their numbers. That's kind of a little tinfoil koofy talk, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so if you're still in the county, you're coming up for parole, I wouldn't hire at that point. And then if you got a pretty short sentence, it depends on the totality of the circumstances. But once you get sent to prison, if you just got there and say you coming up for parole 2 months after you arrived in prison, I wouldn't advise you hiring a parole attorney at that point either. For me, I structure my representation where I stick with my clients a total of 3 hearings and for one flat price. So I don't even, depending, I mean, it has to be really different type of facts for this client's case. Like, for example, if you sat in the county for 2 or 3 years, it might make sense to hire a parole attorney, you know, if the facts of your case and the amount of time you did in the county makes sense, that hey, you actually might make it on your first parole review. But if not, just kind of give it a minute. So 2 years, you'll be up in 2 months and 25 days. If you got hit with a 5-piece, no biscuit, just a little 5. You got a little 5 on you, you're going to be parole eligible after serving 7 months and 3 days. If you got hit with a 10-piece chicken nugget, that you're going to have to serve 1 year, 2 months, and 8 days before you become parole eligible. 15, not a big difference, right? You're looking at 1 year and 9 months. If you got hit with a 20, you got dubbed, like you playing Madden. Y'all play Madden, and you're getting whooped by 3 touchdowns. You got dubbed. If you're in there getting dubbed, you got to serve 2 years, 4 months, and 12 days. 30-piece extendo, 3 years, 6 months, 18 days, and I'll just take it all the way. Let's go to 50. If you got a 50-piece, and this is crazy, right? If you got sentenced to 50 years, you'll be up for parole in 5 years and 11 months. If you got hit with an Elroy, a elbow, a LL Bean, you got to serve 7 years, 1 month, and 15 days. Like, for example, I've helped a client with they gave him a life sentence for organized crime. They stole some cigarettes off the back of a truck behind Walmart, and they hit him with. I was like, that's crazy, man. Y'all wrong for that. I think that was Montgomery County.
Of course.
You gotta do better. Okay, so that's that. Again, moral of the story is just be conscious and be real, be realistic. If they haven't done a lot of time in the county, they're probably not going to make it if they're being considered for parole and they haven't even been sent to the system. And if they just got there on their first review and they got a couple years to go, just be mindful, consider all the circumstances. Okay, now, let me see. I want to talk about heat cases. So I represent a gentleman. I won't give out his name yet. We haven't filed the lawsuit, but I represent a gentleman who died at the Hughes unit in Gatesville, and his internal body temperature at the time of his passing was 108 degrees. The year that he passed was the second hottest year ever recorded in Texas, and not just in Texas, but across the country. You know, we're inching into the summertime. It's going to be hot. Unfortunately, a lot of facilities don't have air conditioned units. You know, if a person has done a crime, they're doing some time. That's one thing. But to basically bake human beings, now we're dealing with things that are remnant of slavery, right? Where it's like you're not even a human being. So we just gonna treat you however we want to, do whatever we want to do, and we can't stand for that. I think, you know, there's no place for that in our society at this point. So definitely, I want to bring attention to that. There is a big case going on right now. And I don't want to say this before I get too far into it. Guys, take care of each other. Document when people are falling out from heat strokes. If you see somebody that's elderly or maybe dealing with mental health issues, my client had mental health issues, try to take care of them. You know what I mean? I know everybody in prison ain't a bad person, and I know that we all have humanity, right? I'm out here advocating, and everybody on these, in this space is fighting for y'all and fighting for your humanity. So love on each other, take care of each other, and in the event that people are being subjected to these conditions and is really affecting their health, multiple people should be writing, and whatever your system is. In Texas, it's an I-60. It's basically a complaint form or a request for help. Write these things, create a documentation. I feel like we're getting to a point to where we're going to be able to change the tide and increase the conditions, right? Improve the conditions for incarcerated people, regardless of where you are in this country, just as a flat baseline of like, hey, we can't bake people in these cells. In Texas, internal temperature in these cells literally could be 130 degrees, 150 degrees. That is insane. That's like
Criminal.
It's criminal. Say it again. Say it again.
Criminal.
Right. So, I want to give some game out right here. So, everybody, there's a huge case going on right now in the state of Texas. It's in the Western District, Austin Division, and the case is TD, spelled Tiede versus Collier. Brian Collier, the executive director for the entire Texas prison system. But I feel like this case, for one, if you look it up online, there's been a lot of media coverage about it. Again, that's Tiede versus Collier, Collier, and the case number is 1:23 CV as in civil, and it's 01004. So again, 1:23 CV 01004. This case is, they're going for the head of the dragon, right? If we can go up and pop the most executive officials on their failure to supervise, discipline, and train, and on them being aware of these issues and then denying it, they're actually indifferent to the problem themselves. This case can be instructional for those who are fighting their own cases pro se, as well as if you have an attorney on your case, point them in this direction. Look this case up. It's received national media attention, and I actually have a plan. I want to bring, I'm speaking this into existence, but I want to bring the attorney on there, Jeff Edwards. He and I are going to be working on some cases together addressing this issue, but I'd like to bring him on because, again, this isn't only a state issue here in Texas, but this is a national issue. This is a human rights issue. So I want to give out my information. My name is Terry, Terry Henderson, Henderson, and my last name is Peden, P as in Paul, Eden. My writing address, best way to contact me would be P.O. Box 1410, Houston, Texas 77251. Again, P.O. Box 1410, Houston, Texas 77251. Phone number is 334-544-9471. Again, 334-544-9471. And really, man, if you all know of anyone who's passed away, incarcerated person who's passed away due to heat, the heat itself, or heat related issues, common issue we see is that people who have various health conditions and they have adverse effects, and this is known based upon the medication that they take. So that could be seizure meds. What are some of the other ones? Isn't it
Heart.
Right. Those were heart conditions.
High blood pressure.
Right. A lot of people with these type of conditions who are prescribed and take these medications, you're not supposed to be housed in unair conditioned areas. You know what I mean? We're not saying you got to be laid up with the pina colada, but I'm saying, damn, if you know the person is at an elevated risk of actually dying, isn't it crazy to bake them in a cell? Especially some people getting baked 23 hours a day if they're in solitary confinement. So we don't care where you are in the country. If you know someone who's passed away or had very serious life-altering issues and injuries when it comes to having adverse effects of the heat, these lawsuits can get their attention, right? We can we can do a lot, and everything is required, right? But a lot of these people are more conservative, quote unquote, more about the money and reducing costs and things like that. Well, if we get to socking it, lighting their pockets up and hitting them where it hurts, their heart might not hurt, man, right, if they have one. But we know when we start tapping those pockets and exposing their lack of humanity on a more public stage, that can actually produce the change that is necessary and should be, to get the conditions.
What's the status of that case, TD versus Collingsworth?
So the status of the case, I believe, I checked it on Pacer last weekend. I believe that they're headed for trial. The judge came in. They asked for, in this case, Mr. TD actually didn't pass away, but he was basically in a situation where his health condition, his medications, they asked for a preliminary injunction to make them TDC go in and install these air conditioning units. That part of the lawsuit was, the injunction was denied by the district court. However, they did say, hey, I don't know if he officially ruled on summary judgment, but basically go forward to trial. He did rule on summary judgment.
Marcy Marie, the one that I was telling you about, her group is part of the lawsuit.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that case will be headed to trial. It might be a prolonged fight. Maybe, even if we get what we want, we could still end up in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. However, it's okay, because a lot of times when you bring the thunder and then they have to do something, they'll start to do it in the midst of fighting the case itself, right? So again, if you all know of anyone who's unfortunately passed away or suffered like heat stroke and very serious issues and injuries, regardless of where you are, please reach out, and I'll be working with attorneys. I've been practicing for 5 years. I tend to work with people who know a lot more than me. Been doing it literally long as I've been alive or close to it. So it's just my job to kind of get the word out here and try to connect all the dots. So hit me up. Again, thank you for the space, and God bless y'all.
And I wanted to mention real quick, if you're out there and you do not know if the medication you're on, one of the, all medication has a disclaimer on it. And if you are not sure what the disclaimer on your medication is, write us here and we'll look it up for you, because most medication has avoid heat, avoid, whatever the medication may be.
Yeah, I say do that, as well as go ahead and put some type of paper documentation together, so that if worse comes to worse, they can't try to act like they didn't know that you were asking for help or that your medication predisposed you, which it should. They should know. Their medical professionals should know something as obvious as that. But in any event, you got to make it extra obvious. So write us, and then also complain your tails off. Complain for your loved ones down there in the system, and fight for each other. And I believe united that we can improve the conditions of incarcerated people in this country.
Yay, Terry. Now, as we've said before, and other guests have said, if you mass grieve it, like if more than one person submits a grievance, that works better than just the one person, saying it's hot. I know that y'all are doing that, though. Just wanted to remind you. And now that we're on in 45 states, as David says, wanted to tell y'all, too, mass grieve it. Do that. And you can write us here at the Prison Show. Well, you can write the Prison Show at David's address at 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, America, /Texas, 77371. Again, that's 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, Texas, 77371. And Terry Peden's address, P.O. Box 1410, Houston, Texas, 77251. And now, we're going to get to Abe on line 1. Hey, Abe.
Hello everyone, and can you hear me okay?
We sure can.
All right, well, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be with you tonight, and I hope everybody is having a peaceful evening. It was not quite so peaceful a couple of hours ago at 6 p.m. Eastern Time when the state of South Carolina executed Michael Mahdi by firing squad. This was the second firing squad execution in 15 years and in 5 weeks, both of them being in South Carolina. So that appears to be one of the newly regular methods of execution being used. Unlike the execution 5 weeks ago, where it appeared that the prisoner died pretty much immediately, in this case tonight, they say he was breathing for about 80 seconds, that he called out after he had been hit with 3 bullets, and, none of this excuses what he did. He was on death row for the murder of an off-duty police officer, but at the end of the day, he chose to be executed by firing squad, and certainly we can know that that is the fastest way to go, even if it is not the prettiest way to go. But that's what we're doing in this country. And I will say, as far as firing squad goes, Idaho has now made firing squad its primary method of execution. North Carolina has a firing squad bill in the mix to try to make that possible in that state. We haven't seen an execution in North Carolina in quite some time also. So anyway, that's the bad news of the evening in particular. There's good news to share, and that is that today the Supreme Court in Louisiana rescinded the 2 execution dates that had been set there, so they were supposed to have 2 more gas suffocation executions in the beginning of June, and both of those dates are off the hook. In addition to that, one of the Tennessee dates has now been stayed as well, to go back to court for that prisoner. So, excuse me. So that's a little window of good news there. I also was grateful for Gloria's report, and also Mary Sue's, about the legislative efforts. It's so important that we call our legislators and we get involved in that process and speak up. And I was really grateful for Mary Sue's report that because of all of the people calling in to their legislators, they were able to derail, hopefully, that bill about where people who are sex offenders can live after they get out. And of course, it was a nice surprise to hear that Jeff Leach is behind a bill to try to investigate the law parties cases. Understanding there's lots more to be done and more that could be done in terms of even the proposal. But it's good that a Republican leader like that is leading on that bill. So good for him. I want to make sure to say that we've got a number of dates still, even with the dates being canceled, and in particular, coming up next in Texas, Moises Mendoza. Shout out to Moises. Hopefully you can hear me. Matthew Johnson, of course. And also want to send a special shout out to Rodney Reed. Rodney's mother has been ill, so please keep her in your prayers. She's been in and out of the hospital. And Roderick, Rodney's brother, one of them, has been in the Bastrop County Jail on what he says is a bogus charge. And I have been working, and this is not in my death penalty action hat, but as an individual and a friend of Roderick, I've been working to try to raise bail money for him. He needs $2,500. We got about 500 together so far. So I put with permission from David, I put a bit of information about this in the comments on the Facebook page. So please check that out if you're in a position to help Roderick get out so he can be there for his mother as she's dealing with her hospitalization and all that. So there's that. I want to make sure to give a shout out also to Melissa Lucio and to let you all know, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. David is working hard with the distributors of the film, The State of Texas versus Melissa, to get that available. It looks like it's going to happen. It's not finally signed off on yet, but we're trying to get the film available on the tablets for people with the Securus tablets. So that'll be pretty amazing if that happens. And then every Wednesday we're waiting for the ruling from the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals to finally uphold the motion filed by the county prosecutor from Cameron County, Louis Syons, and also the judge who signed off on that order, who was originally the judge who sentenced Melissa to death. And they both are now saying throw out her conviction, which of course should also mean free her. And every Wednesday we're coming up on the 3rd anniversary of her execution date, which was April 27th, 3 years ago. And you may recall we ran a campaign to get everybody to watch that film and to raise their voices, and we were able to stop that execution. And Melissa Lucio is alive because of the campaign that we all ran together, and hopefully she will be freed. So shout out to Melissa as well. We're coming up on that anniversary, and you'll be seeing some information about that just to raise awareness about it from us, from Death Penalty Action and the Free Melissa Lucio campaign. I want to make sure in my limited time here to also talk about a little bit about the federal death penalty. I know Gloria mentioned that federal executions may be resuming. No federal execution dates have been set, and it's unlikely that a new date will be set. But Gloria is absolutely right that they are trying their best to get more death sentences and to expand both the federal death penalty, although we haven't seen any legislation about that I'm aware of yet. But there is this cabal, and it seems like it's being driven out of the Department of Justice under Pam Bondi to try to expand not only the methods of executions, but also they're trying to expand the death penalty to include people who have sex crimes against juveniles, against people under the age of 12 or 14. There appears to be a bill like that to introduce the death penalty for non-homicide sex crimes against children. And it appears that similar bills are running in about 15 states right now. And and they passed in a couple of states too. And that's being driven behind the scenes, as well as this idea of trying to get states that haven't executed in a while but have the death penalty and have attorney generals willing to push it to resume their executions. And the federal government is lined up to try to help those states get the drugs for lethal injections or otherwise whatever they can do to push it forward. So that's kind of the Trump agenda, which was signed off on an executive order in his first day in office in the second term. They are seeking the death penalty more and announcing that they're seeking the death penalty. There's a person that murdered a fellow prisoner in the administrative maximum facility unit for the federal prison system. That's in Florence, Colorado, up in the mountains, basically a hole in the ground. And interesting because that's supposed to be a supermax and it's supposed to be super segregation, and somehow a prisoner was able to murder another prisoner. And by the way, this coming week, it looks like all of the remaining federal death row prisoners who have not been transferred yet are going to be transferred to that facility, which is unnecessary and really deeply disturbing, because that is basically sensory deprivation and super segregation, and it's not necessary for most of those prisoners there. Most of those people have not had any infractions while they've been on death row, and they're older and they're genuinely trying to redeem themselves, and yet they're being put into a place that's far more restricted than what the federal death row was. So that's happening this week. In addition to that, I mentioned the other thing. So then, they're seeking the death penalty also for this guy, Luigi Mangione, who you probably heard about. He's the man that is alleged to have killed a United Healthcare executive. And that he's got a hearing next Friday in New York City. But here, yet again, the federal government stepping in to seek the death penalty in a state that doesn't have the death penalty. That would be New York. So let's see here. I think those are all of my notes and things that I wanted to mention. So give you back a couple of minutes of your time tonight. But people who want to write to us at Death Penalty Action, it's P.O. Box 89, P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, New York 12075. That's P.O. Box 89, Ghent, GHENT, New York, 12075. We're happy to hear from anyone. I got to tell you, our focus is the death penalty, the judicial executions, death penalty, as opposed to the death by incarceration, which many people have. We really care about everyone. We want to do what we can, and we're keeping our resources focused, of course, on the death penalty. And there you go. So again, if you can help out Roger Creed, check the link that I put in the Facebook chat. And any questions?
Yeah, you had mentioned South Carolina. Do they have any more executions scheduled?
They have a few. I think they have at least one or two more people who have exhausted their appeals. Excuse me. What they've been doing. Excuse me. What they have been doing is setting a new date each after they carry out an execution. So typically it's on a Friday. They have a very prescribed method or a calendar. So it'll be on a Friday. So possibly as soon as this coming Friday, a week from today, they'll set a new date, and that starts the timetable for filing of last appeals. 2 weeks out, the prisoner has to indicate his or her choice of how they want to be killed. They can choose from lethal injection, electric chair, or firing squad. And they have a couple dozen, I believe they have a couple dozen more people on death row, and at least one or two more that have exhausted their appeals, possibly more. I have to look. I'll try to come back to you with the answer on that. I did want to also mention John Hanson is the next person scheduled to be executed in Oklahoma. They, too, have a one-at-a-time process. They have 90 days between executions. So his date was set almost immediately after the last execution. And the thing about John Hanson is that he was being housed in a federal prison when Oklahoma set a date for him and was unable to execute him because the federal government under Joe Biden refused to hand him back over to Oklahoma. Well, that all is out the window. The Attorney General Gentler in Oklahoma asked Pam Bondi, the U.S. Attorney General, to have him transferred, and he was transferred, and now he awaits his execution. There's pretty much nothing in the way of that as far as I know, legally speaking, and that date is June 12th.
Wow. Okay. And
it's heavy. It's going to get ugly. So much ugly stuff going on with our federal government and our state government. But anyway, everybody try to find some ways to find peace and be kind to each other. And thank you all, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. See you in a couple of weeks, Abe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we got a couple of minutes. We were going to go ahead and play part of the break song, but I wanted to make a few, just say something, unless you got something that's just really burning on your heart. This is the last part of the Second Chance Month. April's been Second Chances, and I'm living proof that second chances work. So I wanted to let all the guys know that they need to prepare for their reentry, because we're all out here and we're willing to give second chances, but it's also your opportunity to make it or break it. And that's why folks like Freddie and everybody's always saying that you got to make the next right decision. If you're prepared to come out and make reentry happen, sometimes it's better to go to a program. Sometimes it's better to go someplace that's not home. My mom and dad was willing to let me come home, but I went to a halfway house because I wanted to make it on my own. And it's a hard decision sometimes, so it's a decision you need to make for yourself, if that's for you, because if you don't know how to make the next right decision, you got to figure out how to make that next right decision. And sometimes the next right decision doesn't feel right. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I had to, AA talks about fake it till you make it. And I didn't know how to fake it, but I kept making the next right decision because I didn't want to go back. And if you think about what Dani Sneed always says is, don't pray about getting out, pray about not going back. I mean, that's the important thing. And the world out here, there's a lot of places that are giving second chances. So just take advantage of every opportunity that you can. Right, Dani?
Absolutely.
Yep. So we're going to play a little bit of break song, about a minute worth, and then we'll go right into the ID. Go ahead.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well, I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you give a least. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. It's prison radio. From Paris to Polanski. Bonjour, more. In my dreams, I can see a freedom I will.
You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas, obtain parole, and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
All right, and we are back. Our number here is 713-526-5738, option number 2. And first, right out the gate, is Captain Tom.
Hi, this is Captain Tom doing my shout-outs for the prison show. The shout-outs to all my incarcerated veterans and also my homeless veterans. Just a few guys that off the top of my head, I could do Arkansas, J.B. Anderson, John Michael Armstrong. Could also do Pete Signs and Bobby Brown. Do Michael Gunn, John Wayne, and also Thomas Harris, Robert Harris, and I could also do Bobby Joe Harper and a few others out there. Also, you can still donate to KPFT by going to kpft.org or call 713-526-5738 or text the word GIVE to 713-526-5738. And you can do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right here at KPFT Houston. And please donate to the Prison Show. Also, your favorite program on KPFT.
All right. Okay, that was quick. I was, I think, someone was on the keyboard, so I wasn't able to tell. Let's get to Lydia. Let's go with Lydia. Hey, let's go to Lydia. Hey, Lydia. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to give a shout out to my son, Beto. We did eat at Logan's, but Jorge's food was super salty. They took it and they brought it back, and it was still salty. It was fish with shrimp, but I think that the seasoning they use is just salty. So he didn't have a good experience. I had my piece of steak with broccoli. Mine was good. So anyway, we came home and I made Jorge some of his organic eggs with cebollita with onions, and I topped it with cheese, so that made it look better. But that was this evening, and I called Alex to see how it is that he gets into Texas Roadhouse, and he says there's a wait list that you can log into, and you just monitor it, and it tells you like how many more minutes it'll be till you can get in. So I have to download the app, and it's a whole big deal just to go to a restaurant, just to get in. But I'll try it. I'll download the app Monday when Alex is in the office. Right now I'm getting my papers together for my income tax, which I haven't done. I will probably ask for an extension. What else? Tomorrow is supposed to be a beautiful day. I'm going to go and see Tia Rosa because I haven't been over there to see her since she had her eye surgery. And maybe the girls will play Loteria later at night. I don't know. But I'll deposit that you asked me, Mijo, in the morning. Let's see, I connected the laptop right now just so it'll get, the battery was low. So I'll do that in the morning for you, okay? And I'll keep an eye out for that dictionary. I need to remember that, okay? My saludos to all the guys. You know who you are. Let's see, William, Eric, Blaine, Ruben, Artie, Roderick, Mark, Moises, and all you guys know that you're thought of and in our prayers. And I want to thank these lovely ladies and Mr. David Collingsworth. And just to give you big thanks for all you do for us. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Oh, that was quick. All right. Let's get to Carmela. There we go.
Good evening, Prison Show. Thank you for taking my call. Thank you for being here for us. I have two shout-outs I'd like to make. The first one is to Marcus Mullins. He's at the Dieball unit. Hi, Marcus. I hope everything is going good for you. It looks like the weather is getting warm, but it's been beautiful out. It's a breeze. I just hope that everything's going okay for you, and keep your chin up and keep your head up and keep your thoughts positive. And Luna wants to say hi to you. Thank you. Yes, and I forgot my train of thought. I'm sorry. Just keep doing what you need to do and lean on your faith as this is coming up for Easter and Holy Week. Father David and family are going on a road trip, not this coming Monday, but next Monday. They're taking the kids to, I guess, with friends in Corpus Christi. So I guess it's the first long road trip for their new car. They traded in Mrs. Jennifer's van for a Honda. It's neat, a Honda. I think it's a Honda Pilot. they seem to enjoy it. And the kids are doing great. David's doing great. He's still hatching more chickens. So, and I have the chicken duty next week, so I'm excited about that. And the dogs are being girl dogs. Daisy got a haircut. She looks real cute, a summer cut. And I just wanted to say hi and let you know that you're being thought of. We haven't forgotten about you. And keep you in prayer. And you take care and have a blessed Holy Week and a blessed Palm Sunday. And we'll talk to you next time. Good night, Marcus. This next shout-out is for my nephew. I forgot his name. Excuse me. Bradley Aiken. I think he's still at the San Saba unit. I'm just going to hope so, either San Saba or Beto unit. Hi, Bradley. I hope you're doing okay. Hope this finds you well and safe. And I hope you've had a good week. And I hope you're looking forward to this Holy Week and Easter week. Good time to get yourself straight with the Lord if you need to. And who of us doesn't? I just want to let you know that you're thought about, you haven't been forgotten, and that you are loved. Yeah, I think about you every day. And if anybody knows Bradley, to let him know that I'm calling in to say hi to him. And I don't know if he has a radio. And just want to let you know, keep your head up, keep your chin up, keep your mouth shut. I know that as part of this family, it's hard to do, but we both need to work on it. And just know that you're loved, and you have a great week. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay safe. I love you, Bradley. Good night. Thank you, Prison Show. You guys, traveling grace back to where you live. And, oh, stop that. Sorry, Luna hissed at me. And you guys have a wonderful Palm Sunday. And
Oh, I think she got cut off. I think she's still there. Okay, can you finish that, Carmela?
I already did.
Okay, you got cut off at the end. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Let me need to work on my timing. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. All right, now let's go to Gloria. Gloria's calling. Hey, Gloria.
Hey, I know y'all are sick of me. I just left, but I had to listen. I had to listen to the Astros game, and woohoo! The Astros just kicked butt against Los Angeles Angels, 14-3, and one of the young men had a grand slam. Anyway, since we're now national, I want to give a shout out to political prisoner Mumia Abu Jamal, who is in Pennsylvania. My brother Mumia, happy birthday, coming up on the 24th. You're 71. I guess you're trying to catch up with me. And I just heard, I think it was your son or somebody on Facebook saying, not only are you a father and a grandfather, but you're a great-grandfather. And I am too, and enjoying the heck out of it. So I hope you have a happy birthday and many, many more. And I hope, like the Dickens, that your next birthday will see you free. In Houston, we're going to be having a celebration and a protest for your birthday. We'll be celebrating your birthday, but we're also going to be protesting and demanding your freedom. We'll have cake and ice cream and send you some birthday messages, but we're going to be at a park in Houston that was the first park that African Americans could go to, and the way they got that park, which is called Emancipation Park, is some of the freed people bought the land and made the park themselves because the city of Houston wouldn't give them one. And it's now a huge park, and it is now part of the city. And it has, baseball diamonds and a gymnasium and a swimming pool and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, that's where we're going to be celebrating your birthday at Emancipation Park, and we will be demanding your emancipation. So happy birthday to Mumia. A couple of things, Erica, I need to answer you, but I won't visit on the day that you've got so much stuff going on. Maybe the next Tuesday, which is the 22nd, I'll be able to come. And let me know if you have an attorney. I can't remember now when your attorney visit is. Anyway, let me know about the 22nd or 29th. And Jeff Wood, I got your message. I'm glad that they painted the area where you live, and hopefully you're back into your cell, and hopefully Caleb will be on your visitors list soon. Spider, I have to send you a picture of, I made a little thing for your grandkids that said, and I printed it up and put it at the top of the box, and in blue letters it says from your, and big letters, and then it says Grandpa Spider in green letters, and then it says who loves you very much, and then I put a picture of you. So I'll send you a copy of that. But anyway, I hope the kids have gotten their package yet or soon. But we'll see. Who knows? And T and Spider, I'll see y'all on the 24th. Hey to Beto Garza, I'm going to be picking your mom up from the airport that morning on the 24th. She's got a special visit with you. And then, I guess I need to take her back to the airport when we finish so she can go home. And all my other friends on death row, I just want to say hello and I hope everybody's doing well. Eugene, I hope your back is better. Golly. Joanna came to our lobby day and talked about you just a little bit when we were all hanging out. Anyway, I guess that's it. I'm so tired from all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I'm happy the Astros won, too. Woohoo. So I guess that's it. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Gloria. Okay. All right. Now, if y'all haven't heard, I'm going to do take a moment. At the Telford unit, in case you haven't heard, the Telford unit here in Texas, 7 officers were arrested for organized criminal activity. 7 of them all the same day. Some of them, if I'm not mistaken, a captain, sergeant, and officers. Yep. TDCJ Troll was having a hard day trying to keep up with all the activity. Ooh-wee. Yeah. If you're not on his page, go find it. TDCJ Troll. All right. Let's get to Eva Maria.
Good evening, everybody. This is Eva Maria from Germany, And I would like to greet my pen friend Rodolfo and everybody in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, especially those who don't have friends or family or only few friends or family outside prison. I think you can be proud of yourselves because you managed to keep your dignity in difficult situations and not just to exist somehow, but to react in dignified ways. And I think in a way you are heroes, especially those of you who are really, really lonely and alone, because you maintain your humanity. And this is really, really a great deed. Again, I think you can be proud of yourselves. Have a nice evening and a blessed weekend, and big thanks to the prison show staff for making all this possible. Goodbye, Eva Maria.
She's so sweet. Too sweet. And just an FYI, if we at the prison show support every incarcerated person, regardless of your crime. So if you come on our Facebook page and say something ugly or demeaning to another person, you will be removed. The comment, depending on what you say, will be deleted. So just FYI, we support all prisoners. All right, now we have Fifi.
Good evening, everyone. This is Fifi. I'm sending a shout out to my precious husband, Timothy, at the LeBlanc unit. Honey, I love you so very much, and I'm super proud of the changes that you've been making, and I wanted to make sure that you know and everyone else knows that you are lifted up in prayer by our church family, co-workers, friends, the children. You are something very special. And I just pray that you will be a light of Jesus to those around you and just keep doing the next right thing so the next right thing happens. I love you, Timothy. Thank you, David and Dani, for letting me do the shout out. Have a great week.
Well, I hope you have a great week too, Fifi. All right, now we have Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Plonsky. Hey Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health, spirits, staying safe, and that there is a smile on your handsome face. As for me, all is good. At the moment, I'm just getting ready to go into work. So right now, I'm having a cup of coffee, and yeah, I'm sitting with Daytona, who says hello, and I'm giving her some belly rubs for you. Buddy is doing good. I went up to him yesterday, and yeah, I just went for a little kind of go around the farm with him, the ranch, and yeah, he is doing great. Other than that, yeah, all is good. At least it's sunshine here, which makes such a difference. It's so nice to see the sunshine. Yeah, so please know that you're my heart, thoughts, and prayers, and that I'm sending you big hugs and kisses. And I want to say hi to Eric, Mark, Blaine, Will, Debo, Moy, and Rudy. Hope you all are doing good and you all are staying safe. So, good night, sweet dreams, and talk later. Bye. And to everybody at the prison show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
Thank you, Caitlin. She is awesome, amazing. All right. All right. Now we have Kalyango.
Good evening to everyone on the prison show. It's really an honor to be here. I want to send my shout out to my brother Franklin Davis, Robinson Roberts, Rasso Pite Jr., Lead Rodri, Melissa Lucio, to beautiful Mam Linda, Madame Dani, David, Francis, Peter. Much love and peace from Uganda. Have a blessed weekend. Hope to catch you soon.
Now, I asked him if he was planning on doing a shout out because we missed him last week. So I made sure to send him a message. Thank you, Kaliango. And now we have Kiki.
Hi, this message is for Rodney Reed at the Polunsky unit. Hey Rodney, it's Kiki. I'm glad to hear you are doing well. Thank you for the Bam Bam's card. He had a great birthday. We took him to the beach with Bella and they had a good time. I just got back from the chiropractor and doing okay. Doug and I are going to the warehouse today, so I'm pretty busy. But I just wanted to call to let you know I love you and I'm missing you. And yes, I am staying strong and keeping the faith. I hope you have a great weekend, my love. I will talk to you next week. Thank you, Prison Show. I hope everyone has a great weekend as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kiki. All right, now we have the not-so-mysterious Mike.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his shout-outs for the prison show this week. And now here's my shout-outs to the guys at Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Tuffett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Shout-out for Matt Thomas, Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Oz. Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. Shout-out for Keith Buddy, Haas, Aaron Vasquez. Shout-out for Curtis Robertson. Shout-out for Blaine Milam. Shout-out for Bill R. Sims. Shout-out for Raymond Lee Cart. And a special shout-out for Clarence Lee Bowman. Hopefully you're doing much better. And I'd like to wish everybody a happy Holy Week that's coming up, Lazarus Saturday and Palm Sunday. And now back to the prison show, and you can write Mysterious Mike in care of David Collingsworth. Adios. Have a nice Holy Week.
All right, and what's that address again? It is 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, Texas, 77371. You too can write Mysterious Mike. He sends me text messages in all caps. All caps. All right, now we have Simone.
Hey twin, it's just me. I'm just letting you know, love you, miss you, I'm beyond happy. Can't wait to talk to you. Love you, miss you, can't wait to talk to you. Okay, you take extra good care. Hope you get some sleep, and I'll talk to you very soon, God willing. Take care. Love you.
All right. Hey, Linda, do you have some shout-outs?
Yes. Hi, guys. I have a few shout-outs here. Edward Holland, Raymond Becerra, Jeremiah Rodriguez, DeWin Wynn, Eric Pleasant, Stephen Drayton, Tyler Adams, Robert Roberson, Robert Satterfield, Robert Solis, Lucky Ward, Ronald Haskell, Gary Green, Franklin Davis, Micah Brown, Jaime Cole, Blaine Milam, Paul DeVoe, Marcus Drury, Pete Russell, Will Spear, Kerry Allen, Britt Bukowski, Christopher Turner, Larry Hatton, Bill Sims, Iron Thunderhorse, Sean Glatz, Eric Pleasant, Will Spear, Alfred Mitchell, David Wood, Walter Sorto, Gregory Allen, Curtis Robertson, Midget Titan, Paper Cup, Sugar Pom Pom, William Owen Sr., Stephen Curry, Charles Thompson, Travis Fletcher, Edward Holland, Dennis Price, Joel White, Talon Carter, Charles C. Bolton, Kimberly Cargile, Alex Sparks, Thomas Miller L., Eugene Broxton, Troy Glover, Jedediah Reed, Juan Balderas, Paul Story, and Joe Laws. Okay, guys, y'all have a good week. I haven't had a very good week this week. My brother passed away, and it's sad because, you know, he was in a coma for a week and a half. He came to, but then his kidneys failed, so he passed away yesterday. So y'all keep me in your prayers, and I'll get through this. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to me.
All right. Thank you, Linda. All right. Now we have Stacy.
This is to my husband, Sporty Black at Wainwright Unit. Hey, baby love, how has the day been for you? Yeah, this is our Friday night tuck-in. Hopefully we had our whispers and you know all is well, except it's your chilly weather here. Dogwood and redbud winter with some drizzly rain. It's National Pet Day, so yeah, the girls are always spoiled. Both have been in and out all day, and they've been behaving. I'm just off the machine placing on the sky posts. I'm getting ready to contact and AP them, then get on the bike. Unless you call me sometime sooner, I don't know if we'll get the bike ride in or not. Baby, it's that time. Oh yeah, nah, Moms and I didn't get on the road today, so I thought we would. Baby, be safe, stay focused. I'm out here all yours. Mwah. I love you so deeply, Sporty. Mwah. Take care, baby. Mwah.
All right. Thank you, Stacy. Now, I have some shout-outs. Farron. Hey, Farron. I did get your e-message, and I replied back. Hopefully you got it. I noticed that a lot of my e-messages are not going through. Larry at the Huntsville unit, Taylor Parker, Robert Solis, Britt Rapowski, T, Big Head, Blaine. I posted our picture today, and a lot of people are just sending prayers and sending you love because of your mom. Philo, I'll give you a shout out. Hey, Philo. Mayo, Rodrigo, Leroy, Joel White. Hey, Joel. Jay at the Win Unit, Sean Glatz, and of course, Midget Titan and CJ. I should say Midget Titan and Paper Cup. Can't forget Paper Cup. But I hope everyone had a great week. And, I was, during the shout-outs, I was glancing down at the troll postings, and he said, shockingly, the Telford unit is now locked down. They're deploying the special response team to shake down and get the unit under control. Even though they had 7 officers that were arrested and possibly a lieutenant. So they have a special response team. I know the Win unit is on lockdown right now. There's a few units on lockdown, and our trusty troll will keep us updated on that. He also posts some positive things, like the Polensky unit has working out for wellness program, and that was the troll reposted that, and that is a great program. We all need to work out. I know Linda and I were talking about that earlier, that we needed to work out. Of course, we're not doing it. We were out to eat when we said that. The Beto 1 unit. Hey, David, is that the same as the Beto unit? Because someone's saying the Beto 1 unit. Beto.
Yeah, there's no such thing as Beto 2. It's just Beto.
Okay. Well, somebody was asking us what happened to an officer out there.
It's not on the troll website?
Yeah, that was on the troll. Someone posted it.
Referred to it as Beto 1?
Yeah, someone posted that.
Yeah, Beto's got a trustee camp, but they never have called it Beto 2 that I know of.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hey, I've never heard of this before. That's why I was asking you. Maybe I mean...
No, that's right behind Cofield. So, Beto and Cofield, they're pretty much just alike.
Aw.
Badass prisons.
Yeah. Along, apparently, with the Telford unit. I think that's where... You remember Big Daddy? He's up at... Big Daddy's up at the Telford unit.
I don't think I'm going to go there.
Well,
Javier might. Javier likes Big Daddy.
And just to be clear...
If Ray was here, Ray would like Big Daddy.
Probably, yes. Yeah. But just to be clear, we weren't talking about my Big Daddy. He was... Big Daddy, that's us. He proclaimed himself Big Daddy. And
most Big Daddies do proclaim themselves Big Daddy.
Yeah, of course, yeah. He must have had... He's had like 30 cell phones, I think. And he just keeps posting.
And he hasn't got a felony yet?
Well, he's in. He's already there. I don't know. I mean, clearly his connection's probably been broke because of all these arrests at the Telford unit. But, you know.
But how much money he's got?
Well.
People bringing in cell phones, they like that money. They don't care. They'll keep bringing them in as long as you got more money.
Well, considering he calls himself Big Daddy, he probably has a lot of money. Or
I don't know.
Access to a lot of
some
it.
things that make us be called Big Daddy don't mean we have big money.
Yeah, if you have a lot of women behind you, yeah.
Well, I guess you can get as much money as you want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the problem is whenever you're Big Daddy on the other side of the wire, how's that Big Daddy help on the outside? Anticipation?
Yeah, anticipation or just...
You have that BD ego all the way through the wire. That's a pretty Big Daddy there.
That is Big Daddy. Big Daddy level. Oh, my God.
Over the wall and through the wire. You go, boys.
Absolutely. More power to him.
Well, you've had a few Big Daddies.
I have had a few Big Daddies. I can definitely say I have.
Go ahead, Javi.
Yeah, can you say that again?
Bonk, chicka bonk.
Oh my God. You're wrong for that.
You started it.
I did. Starting with the you know what? Never mind. The photos you were sending.
I mean, it's her name, but I mean that's all the guys in there know what it is.
Yeah, because I was like, isn't that?
You had it the opposite way.
Yeah, I had it the opposite.
It's an innie, not an Audi.
Yes, I was like, isn't that an Audi?
I seen. Do you know who Ex-Prisoner is? I seen him. He was posting pictures like that this week on Facebook.
Who?
Ex-Prisoner.
I do not know that person.
Yeah, I see him a lot of time with Ashlyn Gaddy and some of those same Facebook pages that you follow.
Oh, are you talking about
It's his name on there. It's called Ex-Prisoner.
Are you sure?
Yep, pretty sure.
I think they just describe him as ex-prisoner.
That's his Facebook name. What do you call that? A logo or it's like a CB handle?
A CB handle.
Breaker. Yeah. Don't forget Stacy.
We already got Stacy.
Yeah, Linda said don't forget Stacy, but I think we already did. I think she forgot Stacy.
Yeah, she forgot Stacy. She forgot I'm going to have to go to Ashlyn's page to figure it out. All right. Now we have Early on line 1, so let's get to Early.
Oh, thank you for taking my call. Hi, Mijo. This is Tia Early. Just calling to say hi. Hopefully you're doing well, and all of your also other friends are doing well. And send you all many blessings, and have good spirits, Mijo. Keep that smile, that beautiful smile that you have. May God be with you, loving you, missing you, and it was nice talking to you the other day while you were calling, you called Frank. I hope you are getting outside at least for a couple of hours or an hour, whatever it is. Enjoy it. Embrace the day and embrace God's creation. I love you and miss you. And here's Tia to say hi to you.
Yeah, but I hope you're doing pretty good. Aquí estamos nomás cuidando a la baby de Alex y estamos viendo una movie también, The Haves and the Have-Nots. It's a pretty good movie. Other than that, we're doing good. We hope you're doing good yourself. We have a blessed day también and good night. So we'll be seeing you one of these days también ahí, a ver cuando vamos yo y your tía para allá. We'll take a ride cuando vayamos towards Houston o algo. Bueno, may God bless you. Be careful. Thank you.
Thank you. I thought she was going to get back on the phone. That's why I hesitated.
She hung up quick.
I know they weren't. It's like when Linda does it.
Yep. So I was kind of wrong. It was called Prisoner X Known.
Yes.
Yep. I was close.
You were close.
How you like that profile picture?
It's gorgeous.
I like the hairdo.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
He has like a big old gorilla face with a mohawk-looking hairdo.
And looks like he's got donkey's teeth off of Shrek.
Yeah, he sure does. And he might, I'm not sure, but he might be a Rockets fan.
Just maybe.
I'm uncertain at this point, but
he was posting pictures of those things.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find it because I'm like, wait a minute. All right, now we have Patty on line 1. Hey, Patty.
This shout out from. Hi, guys. Patty here. Anyway, this shout out is from Humberto Garza. Hey, mijo, hope you're doing okay. Hi, mijito. I filled this weekend, last weekend. I went to play bingo at Tia's, and when I opened the door, the dogs went out. So I bought one in and then went out for the other, and I was reaching for the door, and there I went. Thank God I didn't hurt myself, mijito, but I do have a bruise on my knee. Anyway, I'll live. Everything's good, mijo. Tio's been working a lot, and everybody else is too, but we're doing good. Tina put a new awning for the pool. We'll spend Easter there. Hope you're doing great, mijito. I know you're doing great. We love you. We miss you. Tio Juan is going to get a new treatment. I don't know if your mom's told you, but he gained some weight. He's doing okay right now. We love you and we miss you. Good night.
Good night, Patty. Wow, everybody's hanging up really quick. And yes, David, I found them. It almost looks like toothpaste.
I think he's gluing something together or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's clear liquid, right? It's clear inside the tube.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it.
Well, you don't want it to come loose. It's KY. You gotta. It's KY. You gotta squirt that inside that thing so you can get going.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it out loud because it's her name, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
All the guys listening know what we're talking about. They're all laughing. I mean, we announced who the caller was, That's the first thing went through their mind, too.
I know, that's why I was asking you. I was like, wait a minute. What did he say?
And turn the lights down low. You know, whenever you hear a woman's voice in prison, the whole world stops. That woman could be laughing down the hallway, and every guy in that prison looks down there.
Even the officers?
Well, we're talking about incarcerated individuals, but yeah, a lot of officers too, though. There's not a lot of difference between officers and inmates. We're all in prison.
No, I meant even when the female officers laugh.
Officers will. Oh well, yeah. There's a lot of pretty officers, female officers. Some of them aren't so pretty, but they're still females.
God. Oh, you're wrong for that.
Yeah, well, I need to take some more pills, I think. I'm sitting up in here with my ankle just a hurt, and I was trying to dig in that bag and get me some more pills out, and then we started talking about Fifi, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
You get my mind off my ankle. Yeah, I got out. I'm not even on parole anymore, so I don't have to worry about those things.
No, but yeah, no, you don't. I was about to say, you don't have to worry about the fifis?
Well, I'd go buy a real one if I wanted to, but I mean, I got married, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes. Javier says you don't need one. Sometimes it's like, where'd I put that?
Little stash?
Little stash somewhere. Yep. I want to know where he got the KY, though. If he's on the inside.
Well, that's what I was wondering. That's why I was like, is that toothpaste? I couldn't. But then after I blew up the.
But it is clear, and it's in a clear tube, so evidently he bought it off a commissary somewhere, huh?
At some commissary. I don't think it's at TDCJ commissary.
Well, it doesn't say what unity's on.
No, it doesn't. And usually, a lot of the guys say when you can smell cocoa butter, you know.
Oh, yeah. We used to tease about smelling burnt cocoa butter.
It's toothpaste. Be minty.
It's the hand lotion.
Be nice and warm.
Oh, my God.
We're getting out there now. Yeah. So, you got any news we can use? What time is it? 10:47? We got lots of time left. Hey, have you been keeping up with the Mendez brothers?
I have not. I know that the governor, or the district attorney, I'm sorry, did not just do a time served. I think right. But after that, I'm not sure what was going on.
Well, now they're wondering if maybe their good behavior could help them. I mean, I guess they've been doing quite a lot. They've been taking classes and playing chess and I don't know.
Playing chess? What is that?
Well, I mean, they got like chess tournaments and different stuff. I mean, they've been doing behaviors. They've been taking classes. I don't know. They're like mentors.
Speaking of that,
meditation classes. They paint murals. They've been taking a mentorship class.
Okay.
But I mean, your behavior really does matter. I mean, whenever I first started going down, they told me to go find the biggest dude in the day room and take him down. And after 6 months to a year of being a knothead, then straighten yourself up, and then you'll make parole because they'll think they rehabilitated you. Man, don't do that.
No.
Man, go down there and do your time for yourself. Go down and take some classes. Better yourself, If you got a drinking alcohol problem, learn how to live. Because just being in there and being sober doesn't mean you're sober. It's what they call a dry drunk in the program. So do something to better yourself.
And, speaking of that, Adovo has a ton of classes you can take, and you can get certificates. I mean, and you can also share not that I'm hitting around to anyone in particular, but you can share these, so your family, your loved ones can save those certificates when you come up for parole. So you can show the strides you're making. So make sure that you get your loved one. Oh, Patty's back. Make sure you get your loved one those codes so they can download those certificates and save them for your parole packet. And let's get back to Patty.
I forgot to tell you a joke I heard. So 3 girlfriends are out, riding around, and they have a horrible accident, and they pass away. So they go to heaven, and they meet St. Peter. And St. Peter says, the only rule we have here is that you don't step on the ducks. That's like a quack quack, okay? So that was the only rule, okay? So a day goes by, and the second day goes by, and one of the girlfriends steps on a duck. So St. Peter, as punishment, brings the ugliest man that you can think of and handcuffs her to him. Like a week later, the second girl does the same thing. She also gets handcuffed to an ugly young man. So a month goes by, and St. Peter comes and gets the third young lady and walks over, and there's a nice, good-looking guy there, and handcuffs that nice guy-looking guy to the third girl. And the young lady says, I don't know what I did to deserve this. And she asked the nice-looking guy, what did you do? And he says, I don't know, but I stepped on a duck. I hope you all got it.
Yes.
Dun-dun-dun.
Anyway, guys, I thought I'd share that with you. Another corny joke that someone told me today was a fireman had 2 sons. What do you think he named them? Jose and Hose B. So, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. He thought you wanted to make you laugh a little bit. I love you, Papi. Good night, guys. I hope you all enjoyed my corny joke. But anyway.
I always enjoy a good dad joke.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, Patty. So I would like to make a few shout-outs. I want to shout out to Daryl Adkins, Ronald Allman, Cora Brumfield, Daniel Campbell, Tiffany Cheeks, Stephen Drayton, Daniel Farrell, Michael Flores, Roy Forbes, Victor Campbell, Travis Fletcher. Oh, man, it kicked me out of my account. You believe that?
Oh, yeah, Travis Fletcher. Hey.
He wrote a really good letter to us.
Yeah, he did. How are you doing, Travis?
Well, my account kicked me out. Isn't that great? Don't you just love...
You probably did something.
It's all my fault. It always is.
I think it is.
Yep. Did you make all your shout-outs already?
I did, but I'm glad you mentioned Travis Fletcher because that was a really, really nice...
Yeah, he says, hey, boo.
Hey, boo. Hey, boo.
Yeah.
You see, some people appreciate that.
Well, he also told me to continue wearing my long socks, but now I can only wear one. So.
Oh, you got on... Well, you're...
I don't have them on tonight. No, don't have them on tonight.
Well, no, but you've got something else on your leg.
And it's longer than the sock, isn't it?
It's longer
No,
than
it's
the
about the
sock.
same. It's about the same. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the app just stopped working.
I think you did something.
I did it. It's all my fault. I know it is. It always is. And I think I don't have them on my deal anymore. So I don't know. Let's talk about something else and then I'll figure it out.
Okay, and there's a few people I forgot, but y'all please know that I've got, this Stephen Drayton in Tennessee, Mountain City, Tennessee. David brought me the letter. Thank you for writing. I appreciate you very much. It was a very nice letter. You're awesome. Joe Laws I did get your letter too, and thank you very much. And I also wanted to mention there's a couple of units now. Like I said last week, April 5th and 6th was picture weekend, but several units did not take photos. And I know I was out one of them. But, if y'all are having problems getting photos done, y'all let us know, because, we can try. I'm going to start raising a little bit of hell concerning the yeah, me.
Yeah, I sent a letter to Adobo today.
I know you copied me.
Yeah, have you had any of those same complaints?
Yes.
So we got a letter from Mr. David Hunter, and we sent it on to Adobo. They want us to correct the season numbers. Evidently, I made a few. I asked Adobo about a few things. What gets me though is whenever our dashboard comes up, our shows are not in chronological order. So if I'm looking for the newest show, I still have to look in the list somewhere. It just doesn't pop at the end of the list. And you'd think it would be in chronological order. I mean, I numbered them by the seasons and the episodes like they asked me to. Mm-hmm. So you would think it would go like that. But he said to make sure that we have the correct season numbering and to reorder the shows, the newest to the first. And then in the description, now, I thought you could do this anyway. I was told that you could put in the search bar any word that's in the description of our show. And I know you always say to put the prison show video. But they told us that we could put any word, and the reason why the guys keep coming up with the word gay, and it brings it up, is because in the description it talks about Gay Ray. So they said that that's just part of the description, and it doesn't matter. So you could put in Ray instead of gay, and it would still pull us up. Or you can put in the word prison, and it'd pull us up. Or the prison show, or Montrose, or KPFT. I mean, they say that it's anything. But this guy wants to make sure that we can just put in TPS instead of the prison show, because he's tired of putting in the word gay.
No, I haven't gotten that complaint.
He said that to allow each show to play to the end with just Adobo in the background or the screen locked. So that instead of watching the video, he wants to hear the audio. But that's why I put a video and I put a podcast. So that gives you the choice. If you just go to the podcast, I think all it's going to do is play the prison show logo in the background. It's not going to be the video. So that way you can put your earpods in and just lay down and listen. They want to show, to allow you to favorite the prison show and put a link on the homepage. And then they want a web comment forms for both Adobo, the snail mail, to Chicago and Long Beach. It says that it's slow and expensive for unpaid prisoners, and the prison show is similar to feedback forms in other programs. So they wanted to be able to have a feedback form for the prison show on Adobo. And then restore rewards for points. So they don't get points anymore for the classes that they take? Where they can use those points to watch movies or some kind of entertainment?
Oh, that I don't know. I just know that they could use it to get certificates.
Yeah, well, they used to have points, and then they could take those points, I think, and actually have, like, entertainment or play games or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think that it may be in another state.
Yeah, well, I thought Brian Hill had talked about something like that in the interview, and he was saying that they didn't do that anymore because more people were taking more classes. Some people are better at taking classes than other people were, so they would get up more points, and then they could have more games and stuff like that, and that they didn't think it was fair. And I mean, I'm almost with David Hunter over here. Who cares why they're taking the classes as long as they're taking the classes? If you can better yourself, better yourself.
All right, it's 10:59.
Cool. That means we got to go play that 2020. We got to get out of here. We got to stay tuned for Damage Control and Skyla Dawn, and we'll see y'all next week.
Have a great weekend.